Hey everybody, my name is Mike Johnson. This is the Success Estate Podcast. Thank you so much for checking out this either video, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, or also for those that are listening on Spotify or Google Podcasts, anywhere you can find your podcast. We are featured and available. Thank you for all the new subscribers and supporters, everybody that shared the podcast. This is season number 3, and we're trekking right along. So today I've got another special guest with me. I got my brother, Aaron Johnson.
What's up, fam?
What's up, man?
Come on, brother.
Come on.
What's up, friend?
Now, I'm going to tell y'all one thing, kind of like last week. My brother and I, man, we like to laugh. We like to have fun. That's kind of the family we grew up in.
Right.
We come from a jokster's paradise.
Yeah.
I would say,
Especially from Sheila.
yeah, especially from Yvette. Shout out to Mama. We love you. Just hit a milestone on her birthday recently, and man, all of that. I think y'all kind of see some similarities between my brother and I. Aaron, why don't you give a little bit of introduction on yourself?
Well, ain't much to say. Aaron Johnson, 31 years old. Mike's little brother. Everybody used to call me Head back in the day. Longview native, well known for the athletic accomplishments that I had in high school.
Yeah.
4-year varsity play on basketball, and then 2-year starter quarterback in football. Back-to-back state champions. We attended the state championship. Yeah. Runner-up state champion 2 years in a row. So had a lot of recognition. Still have a lot of recognition on stuff like that. So
Praise God.
now just almost a 10-year vet at car sales over at Peter Chevrolet.
I was just thinking
Longview.
about that.
Yeah, so it's been a minute. It don't seem like it's long, but it seems like it's forever. So
Yeah.
it started as soon as I came out of college.
Yeah. Man, let's talk a little bit about you already mentioned some of your athletic prowess. For one, do you miss high school football?
Yeah, I mean, I miss the environment that it was back then. I mean, there's nothing like it when you seemed like the whole world cheering for you out there on the field.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of times I tune it out, but when you actually do hear that crowd, chanting, not even just chanting your name, but just cheering for the team.
Yeah.
You got people that, it's almost like Friday Night Lights. You go around and, hey man, great game.
Yeah.
Man, boy, you did good out there. I seen that play. I seen that move. How you do that move right there? Do it for me again. I'm like, I can't take that stuff, dog. Like, what you would do it on you or something?
Juke you right
Chase
here
me this way. I'm gonna show you how that little leg stick, bro.
Juke somebody right in the parking lot.
Yeah. But man, that's probably the main thing is just the environment of it and the feeling of just being on top of the world at the time.
Yeah. There's nothing like Longview football. I don't think there's any place that probably embraces their football team in America the way that Longview does. I ain't been everywhere, of course. There's probably some places that probably will feel the same. Being a quarterback, being a leader of young men. Well, I think everybody should know, for one, I like to tell everybody, what you saw on Friday nights did not start on Friday nights. Where it really started was either in the backyard or in Mayflower. We played so many 2-on-2 games of football.
Yeah. Shout out to Jake and Jamie.
Shout out to Jake and Jamie.
Shout out to Jamie because he was a practice dummy. Jamie got all the moves. Oh boy!
Well, your confidence was through the roof. So we have an older cousin. Our first cousin, Jake, is 2 years older than I am. Aaron is 3 years younger than me. Jamie and I, our other cousin, we are about a week apart, 8 days apart, being born. So when we would play 2-on-2, Aaron, since he was the youngest, would always play with the oldest. And then me and Jamie would play together. And we were probably our record, y'all's record is probably like 301. We probably won like one time.
And everything.
Basketball, football, all those things.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, like I honestly think that was probably in multiple facets great for you. For one, having to keep up with the older cousins and siblings.
I'll tell you what else was a big factor. We used to go out there to Jonathan and their house.
Oh yeah,
and go play, throw a football in the street. And basketball, I mean, it was I mean that was, I would say, what kept me ahead was always playing ahead. Yeah. Not even just on the pickup games, but playing with old Chris Hollins. We were playing. Yeah. We were in third grade playing eighth grade teams. So,
right.
We got a tail kick.
And I think most of the guys on the team were like a year or so ahead of you. Yep. Your best friend Aaron Hollins. Shout out to Trapel A. As a little inside joke. Right. Shout out to Trapel A and Coach Chris Hollins. I think that confidence, for one, beating up on Jamie. Beating up on Jamie and I, and being able to, push yourself, and then the confidence of figuring out, oh, hey, I can move, I can run, I can make plays, there. And then of course, like you said, at Jonathan out there in Rambling Creek, and then playing with Coach Chris, is that something, now being a father, is that something you plan for your son as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he chooses the sports realm, I mean, I've been trying to contemplate on if I want to try to push him towards that, not just on the physicality, but just on the mental toughness part of it. But also, just try not to live my life through him.
Sure.
That's one of the biggest things that I'm trying to make sure that I don't do.
Yeah.
Kind of let him choose his own path, because there are a million other things in the world that you can do.
Sure. And it's hard not to get wrapped up in sports. I tell everybody, for me, it was an extreme shock. Like my last game, I called Pops. We were at UT Dallas, and I remember calling him and saying, hey man, what if this is my last game playing ball? Something that I dedicated lots of time, lots of effort, lots of energy to, something that I love, cherish, and it was coming to an end. I don't think that I was really ready to move outside of that. How was it for you when football at Southern Arkansas came to a head?
I'm still trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been successful at what I've done.
Sure.
I guess you can say somewhat, but it still seems like there's an empty void almost. Like there's a part of me that's missing.
Sure.
And like you said, I mean, you dedicate 25 years of my life to it. So it's like after that is. Where am I? Who am I?
Right.
That is, I ain't gonna say it's a constant struggle, because I am, doing pretty well for myself. But every now and then I see my cleats.
Sure. And there's nothing like, you can't replicate that feeling anywhere. Being on that stage, the pressure that's put on you, embracing that pressure, and we were talking about it with Courtney in the last episode. I asked him what he enjoyed about it. He was like, just lining up and seeing this person across from you and like, hey, I'm coming this way. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
Right.
Like it really is a test of your fortitude.
Right.
And I know that it's a big struggle to kind of move forward, that especially if you taste any success in it.
Right.
If you gain some notoriety, and around here, I'm not going to put everything to blame on the area. I didn't necessarily see the next path from that. It seemed like it was sports or bust.
Right.
For me.
Right.
And it's kind of shaped. I feel the same way that you do, as far as like, hey, if my boys choose to play sports, then great. But do people come up to you all the time? They come up to me and they're like, oh man, I know your son's gonna play. I know your kid's gonna do this. What you gonna do? You think your kid gonna go play this? He gonna do this? He gonna do this? And I'm just like, man, I don't know. Your son gonna be a quarterback. Right.
Quarterback. He gonna be a quarterback. He gonna be quarterback. Yeah, that's Nick Taylor Johnson right there, boy. He gonna be quarterback.
I watched his daddy run up and down this field. I mean, he was awesome. It is a great compliment.
Right.
But they also, I don't think they understand the pressure.
Yeah.
That comes with that.
Right. It's kind of annoying too. I ain't gonna
it is.
It's kind of, hey man, I can't. He might go out there and play soccer.
Right. Yeah.
He might get into fishing like I damn. And shoot, now that they got all these ways you can make money off fishing.
Sure.
I wish I knew about half this stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I wouldn't have been no quarterback. I've been on a boat.
And so people don't know that probably about us. So if y'all haven't, season 2, first episode is with my dad. I talked about our roots a little bit. I think this would be a good time for one to shed a little more light on you. Most people know you as a quarterback and now car salesman, but probably your greatest love outside of your family,
right?
With excluding family,
Right.
But your favorite passion probably is fishing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, I can spend all day, every day out on the water if I could. So, I mean, I hadn't really done it a lot competitively, but just going out there and relaxing. I mean, I try to teach all my friends, all my homeboys and everything.
It's
man,
funny how many people you can put in a boat.
Yeah, man, we didn't have some crazy fiascos out there on the water. But I mean, everybody that I take out there, I pretty much,
Sure,
pretty good at teaching them.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I guess, part of being the leader and stuff like that. That's where that's all come to play too. But
sure,
just the love for being out on the water and it's almost, I make it a challenge. Like you got all these sonars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To make it easy.
Scoping.
Yeah.
You watching people
playing video
YouTube the
games.
live scope. He said, "There's a catfish right here. I'm gonna put my bait right in front of his face.
Yeah.
Come on, bite it." I'm like, "What do you think he's gonna do?"
Right.
The bait,
right. I mean, at that point, you might well just go rent one of them old Xboxes with the little
right.
riding rim.
Or go to Bass. I saw somebody the other day that got a chance to fish in the Bass Pro Shop.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, you might as well do that.
Right.
Just put them in
see
there.
It, yeah, you see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I try to make it challenging on. I use like apps to kind of dictate what kind of baits I'm gonna use, something like that, based on the weather and stuff. I ain't into the scientific part, like barometer reading.
Right. Yeah, they be
barometric
studying
pressure, and
like, man,
speed of the bait.
where your
how
lab
fast
coat at, fisherman? You doing?
I don't know how they do it. Like, what time the sunrise? If it's at 6:41, it's gonna be this percentage of a bite. If it's 6:48 when it's sunrise, then they're gonna be a lot more active. It's like all this stuff. I ain't into all that. I mean, I'll use it. I appreciate it. But
because it's not always going to guarantee that you're going to catch something or not catch something.
Right.
I mean, maybe it increases your chances. I mean, I'm not going to knock anybody wanting to study and figure out their craft. That's cool, know. But at the end of the day, what it's about is putting the fish on the end of the line, So, and I think I'm going to try to create a picture here in a minute for all of you listeners and viewers. But kind of your background on that, our grandfather was a fish lover as well. He was. I mean, do you feel like watching him kind of sparked your passion? Or I know Pops. I you know what I remembered the other day was Daddy walking us through the woods on his back. And having to take us across the water. He'd have his water boots on right there by the spillway up the street from the house, and he'd have to take us across just so we can go fish on the bank. At that time I didn't enjoy it. I was probably one of the if y'all don't know, I ruined a lot of fishing by throwing rocks and sticks in the water. It didn't become a love of mine until after.
After you had the boys.
And I was like, "Oh, this is relaxing." But where do you think your passion and love for that comes from?
And just the experiences that I had, those days where it was just like, where as soon as the hook hit the water, you bringing in multiple fish, whether it be out there at Eastman or out there at Paul French Lake, or, just stuff. Those days where it's just like, man, you catch so many, it's like you start hurting and you're tired of catching fish. I just got addicted to it, man.
Like at our cousin house in Pittsburgh, Papa took us that time, and
catfish out there,
catfish. We get first because it was a whole experience. I remember first stopping to get the catappa worms.
Yeah.
I can't find it. I don't know where that lady was. I can't remember. She was around the corner from us, but I remember knocking them out of the tree, getting all those worms, making that long drive to Pittsburgh, getting out there and wearing them out. I mean, I think I only had one other experience like that when we went out behind my old job.
Oh yeah,
that was the only other time I've ever had an experience quite like that. Where I mean, as soon as it hit the water, it just but I like those kind of things. Now when I'm fishing, it's kind of what I'm searching for. Not even just catching a bunch of fish, but I remember riding in the truck with Papa, that single bed. I mean, that single cab. Yeah, me, you, Jake, and Jamie lapped up, you know, with one leg, you know. But the experience we had there was, you know, was so great. You know, it left a lasting impression. Was that same kind of thing for you as far as do you even remember your first early on fishing trip?
Man, so my concussion I had in college kind of erased a lot of my childhood memories. So I don't remember a whole lot. I mean, I get, you know, jots of memory here and there, but I mean, I know that had something to do with it. You know, I wish that I could remember a lot more experiences, especially with Papa.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a few things that are, I think, are maybe ingrained or imprinted or however you want to put it in your mind.
Sure.
But you know, it really is just there's not a really particular time or moment that I was just like, oh yeah,
spark. It wasn't okay.
It just always was there.
Sure.
So I don't know if it's something that I inherited from Papa or Pops or whoever, but it's just always been in my spirit.
Do you feel like you missed an opportunity, like chasing the passion of like competitively fishing? Like, do you feel like you?
One of the things, like you were saying earlier, just the world wasn't as big back then.
Sure.
It was sports or bust back
Sure.
then, you know. So, and that's, I mean, not saying it was a bad thing. I regret any of it, but that's just what it was back then, you know. And it existed. It just wasn't as notified around this area.
Yeah.
You know. So with that inexperience, lack of knowledge, I mean, it's not that like I said, it's not a bad thing. It just wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody that I knew of personally that competitively fished.
No, I mean, he used to watch the fishing channel.
Yeah. But I mean, I thought that was just somewhere off in Tennessee, or, you know, somewhere far away, not realizing like this is actually something that you could do until we were like older, maybe going out of high school. I thought, man, you should be competitively fishing. But by then, you're also kind of dug in as far as, you know, being a quarterback. And, you know, I would like for you to, because I am a real estate agent. I feel more so like I like to just help people. You know, this is a real estate podcast, but one of the reasons why I asked you to come on, you know, to the show is because you bring a unique perspective, being a young single black man when you bought your home. But leading up into that, there were some things that happened along the way. What would you encourage young men, especially because this is a sports town, and I don't think that anybody's trying to be ugly or, you know, or trying to lead anybody down the wrong path. I do remember people asking me like, "Hey, you think you can go to North Carolina?" You know, like, I mean, I was pretty good at basketball, and I remember people asking me, and people, when you start hearing those things, you're like, "Oh man, you know, okay, maybe I'm good enough. You know, maybe I can do this." And so I think the bait was kind of put in front of me to go all in sports, you know, and I didn't have really any other interest that I was able to tap into at the time. What would be your suggestion to like the young football players now, you know, if you could go back, be 15, 16-year-old Aaron, you know, what kind of things would you do differently to kind of help round yourself out and prepare for your eventual? Everybody has to exit sports, or playing at least.
Right.
You know, what's something you would do differently?
I wouldn't. I'd tell myself not to close myself into my environment.
Yeah.
Spread your wings out and go experience. You know, especially if you do get recruited to go play and stuff like that. Go visit every place that you can. Go all 50 states. Use every bit of everybody else's money to pay for your trips.
Yeah.
You know, I think they still do the official visits and stuff. Well, they started doing that again, but man, I missed out on so much. Just, you know, I had my mind closed in on a few, like 3 or 4 different factors, and I really could have did that probably anywhere across the country and experience and learn a whole new environment in a different state, or a whole new career path based on what's going around, you know, that college or whatever, or just anything, you know. But my main thing I would say to my 16-year-old self is, hey, don't settle for the first and what sounds like the best opportunity.
Search it all out.
Yeah. Shop around. Make sure people are real to you, because we didn't grow up in a Lion household.
Right,
so,
right.
That
when
was
people gave you a word.
When Kevin Summerlin came in there in the living room, sat on Pop's couch and said, "Hey, he's gonna play quarterback for us." That's all I needed to hear. Yep. Sounded good. He said exactly what I wanted to hear. And
put the bait right in front of you.
Sucker.
He had you on live scope,
man. The future scope. Golly, bro. That joke knew exactly what to say. Well, you silver tongued devil.
Because everybody else at the time, I think, they weren't necessarily when you come in to be quarterback. Was that amount?
I wouldn't say. I mean, that was so mainly the top tier schools. They were trying to recruit me as an athlete, but like I had a lot of schools that wanted me to be QB, but like I said, I didn't really know anything about college ball either.
Sure.
So that was another thing. You know, do your research. You know, learn about. It's not about the school that can make you be successful. It's about the program that can accommodate to you. That I mean, you see all these D3 players or D2 or whatever making it to the league. I mean, they went to the right school that fit the program. They
were able to blossom.
You're not. It's not even always about just the absolute best that's gonna make it. It's about who has the most in this day and time, who has the most clout as well too. You know, so your name can take you a little bit further. I mean, there's guys even in the league right now that I've played against, and I believe I was better than. I played against people that were better than, or played with people that were better than the people that's in the league.
Yeah.
But you know, they in the right place at the right time, had people on their side at that school and program and stuff like that, and that's what got them there.
And a lot of it is endurance. I mean, I think I kind of let my, when I had opportunities probably to play a little past college ball, I think some of the steam got taken out because of the experiences that I had with college programs. I mean, my brother and I, we both had some pretty significant disappointments with college coaches, and it's a business. It is a business for them. Unfortunately, it seems like sometimes it can be a little cavalier on their side as far as not realizing, hey, these are kids' lives and futures, that they're trusting you with, and I know they've got a job to do. They've got a job to save. They got families to feed, all of that. I understand. But at the same time, it did make me realize and recognize when I'm talking to young men about playing sports and things like that is, hey, you got to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself. It's not a thing of like being ugly. I'm not saying like in an ugly way or like, hey, I got to do something that's detrimental to the team so that I can get mine. We probably don't have that leverage yet.
Right.
But you need to put yourself in a position of where you can gain some leverage.
For the things that you can for yourself. Not for your team, but for yourself.
Yeah. Because, I mean, everybody's got to, that is, even though we live in a society, we all should work together. At the end of the day, we have to, each individual needs to take care of themselves for the greater good, and I always hate, I can't even look at a picture of Kevin Sumlin these days,
cut his hair.
Because it's crazy. On the backside of it, our cousin played at U of H. He had a great experience with Kevin Sumlin. So it is, I mean, it's literally, for those that are listening, if you got children that are coming up in sports, playing sports, you get so much notoriety and everything without trying. It can go to your head or to your children's head, and you want to make sure that you opening up the picture more. That's all I'm saying. Don't look at like, oh man, you probably do have the talent and the ability to do it. Now you got to widen your horizon so that you can increase the opportunities out there for you. I tell everybody, our parents didn't push sports on us. We could play sports. I fell in love with the game of basketball just watching mom and daddy play.
Right.
Just when we got out there, the fun that I would have and everything, that gave me everything that I needed. Fortunately, they didn't try to live vicariously through us. I don't think. I think they tried to push us because that's what we were in anything. That's what we had. But primarily, I feel like I just wanted to be a player, and I kind of want to do the same thing for my children. And speaking of which, new father and husband. Shout out to Whitley. And my new sister-in-law, and Xavier, who will be one here pretty quick. That's crazy. We got like 3 months before you have a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
What's it like? How's that switch up for you, being a father and husband after living single man for?
Man, So having a companion at home and a family and stuff, that part ain't really that much to adjust to. It's just I've always been one to kind of move on my own pace.
Yeah.
So
literally in everything.
Yeah. So that's been the major adjustment for me.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
If I want to go do something, not saying I'm gonna go do something bad, but if I just want to,
sure. It's a
work out,
step in between.
Yeah. If I want to go run when I get off work, like I'm used to just, hey, it's spare the moment. I'm a spare the moment person. My life, everything that I've tried to plan in life has pretty much been a failure. So I've just been like, you know what, I'm just gonna move how I move. Yeah,
that's how you play ball too.
Exactly.
Well, no, I mean, of course you ran the play, but if it break down, you were always great about making something out of nothing.
Right. So I mean, that's how I've always moved. For 30 years, that's what it was. Like, I'm gonna move how I want to when I want to. So the adjustment of making sure that I include either the wife's ideas or letting her know, like, that's the main thing, is just letting her know, like, coming here, like, I kind of let her know on the way here. I was like, hey, I'm finna head to Mike's office. That's an adjustment, because usually I just pull up, do what I do, I go back to work, and I mean, I ain't doing nothing wrong. It's just that you have to over communicate. That's the part that I have to work on.
Sure. And I mean, being and adding the fatherhood step in there on top of that, because you recognize how, I don't know if it's hit you yet, how finite time is.
Right.
I know you spend a lot of time on the job, and then you want to do what you want to do, but you also want to see that smiling face.
Right.
That innocent young smiling face.
Right.
When you get home and you realize, like, man, I only have so much of this
so much innocence he got left.
That little joke can get around.
Hey, look, that joke already starting to test the waters. He dipping the toe in. Be ready with that paddle.
He looking at you like, we're gonna see what kind of result.
Yeah, that joke that he done started fake crying and stuff.
Yeah, he got it.
Man,
he got it.
Like, boy, don't try me. Don't try me, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in between. I'm the new parent, but I'm kind of older before a new parent. So, it's like,
right.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it. I'm trying to save you, bro.
You can't fool an old fool.
You can't fool an old fool for a long time.
Yeah.
I was one of the best at being a fool. But,
And speaking, because you talked about being, not necessarily being a fool, but being, one to do things your way. For those that don't know, Aaron has always been one. He set his mind. It reminds me of my baby boy as well. He set his mind, and that's what he's gonna do. And it would be kind of different, even to the point of where you bought your home. I bought a house, I think probably a year before you did, and it was in the city. I could be, to mama's or my in-laws in 15, 20 minutes. And Aaron bought a house where I thought was the middle of nowhere.
No, ain't no thought. It definitely is. It definitely is. Shoot. They check my boxes. I wanted somewhere that had some water on it or beside it, whatever.
You could access pretty quickly.
And it was an addition, but I did want to shop as well too. The one I got is basically another house, but that's a plus. They did a great job building it and stuff like that. And then a fairly newer house. I didn't really want no 1970s.
Yeah.
You gotta redo the inside and out. I wanted something where I could.
And you did it anyway.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Not the out, but I've done the in. Well, pretty much done the out too. Yeah.
Well, tell us about, because this is a real estate podcast, and like I said, y'all, one of the reasons I asked my brother to come on is because he has a unique perspective. I don't even know if you were dating at the time or anything like that. I don't think your thought process at the time was to necessarily buy for somebody else. It seemed like you were wanting to kind of establish your own realm. Was that the thought process for you when you, for one, what made you decide at, let's see, what you're 31 now?
So I was 24.
24, like 24 years old, that's young to buy a house for most people's standard. What made you make that shift, and then when you did decide to do it, were you considering any other factors, like future factors?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was thinking in the long term of things, like kind of already having I didn't want to be a newlywed or a newly parent and all that other stuff, and then still trying to figure out where I was going to be. I wanted to have that already established.
Yeah.
So that was one of the main goals right there. Two, like I said, just kind of set my roots. I was doing a lot better in the car business than what I thought I was going to be. And I was a couple years in. Well, yeah, about a year and a half in, almost 2 years in, and I was making more money than I even thought I could. So, you know, those two different factors and the location, the lake and stuff, and call my name, you know. So
catch me.
Yeah. See, and walk down to the water, and you know, like a congregation of fishes waving at me, you know. Like, try me if you can. Hey,
God, is this a sign?
Yeah. You know, everything just kind of seemed like it all worked out in my favor on that particular location. So the crazy thing was, I looked for probably 3 months straight, and there were 2 other places that I was really, really interested in. Didn't get either one of them. Missed the bid by like 20 minutes both times. They had just accepted that person bid like 20 minutes
and that
before.
happens all the time.
So, you know, I was like, you know what, I ain't gonna stress about it. You know, I just.
Now, were these close to the water too, or
one of them was, and then the other one was just, it was a newer place, and like 3-4 minutes from work. So, you know, it's like, well, if I can't get no water now, I'm just at least get somewhere where I can go take a nap and
right
break type deal. And it was a new house, brand new, so it wasn't nothing big or nothing like that. But you know, it was just, if I didn't get everything, I was at least gonna get part of it. You know, so like I stopped looking for probably about 2 months or so. And one day I just got back online, and I was searching around. I was like, let me see if I can find something close to the water again. So I was looking all around Longview, couldn't find nothing. Looked around Hallsville, Spring Hill area, couldn't really find nothing. So I was like, yeah, I ain't never lived in Gilmer. I don't really think there's nothing out there, but I'm going to try to see what's around there. Pull up Gilmer, and then you see this one little speck down at the far bottom corner. And I was like, oh, that's right beside the body of water.
Yeah.
I looked at the house. I was like, okay, it's a nice sized little lake, and built in 2016, so kind of a newer built house. Had a big shop. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go check it out. And it seemed like it took about 4 days to get there. I was like, oh man, I don't know about
that was
this
out there for you?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
I mean, even compared, like Mama and them house now is just like, bro, I didn't realize how
close it was. We used to complain all the time.
Man, like, man, we away from everything. Everybody, all my friends they live in Texas. We live in New Mexico.
Yeah, right. We all in Arizona.
Yeah, it sucks. The family sucks.
The location sucks.
Yeah, but
we gotta put food in the deep freezer.
Yeah, like I mean, you can't walk anywhere.
Right.
You know? Can't walk to the store. Can't walk to Walmart. You know.
I tell people about how much Monopoly we played going into my senior year, and really it was because we didn't have nothing else to do. There was people that we knew on top of the hill. I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, man, I was not gonna ride my bike and then have to walk it way up the hill. I mean, it was
like 4 miles long.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like the top of the hill kept getting farther away the more you walk. It was like, man, we might as well just sit in here and play Monopoly.
Right.
All day long.
Got competitive.
Speed rolling. That's why I can't play with anybody now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when I got to college at UT Tyler, Anthony Reese, shout out to Reese and Devadas and Josh Carr, they played Monopoly like we played. And bro, it was like a godsend. I was like, yes, my people, you know. We were in there speed rolling. Then they introduced me to the debit card game, you know. I didn't like that because I think I was getting cheated. But, you know, man, I mean, everything. The money was going. You had to be on your toes. You know, it was so exhilarating, you know. But I tell everybody, man, it was living out there in the country. It's great. A lot of people want to move there,
right?
But there really is some isolation,
right?
You know, for kids, you know.
And I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing for that, you know. The good part about it is a little bit more safe, especially nowadays. I mean, if you're on a busy street, you never know who's gonna come by
Sure,
and do something
sure,
stupid.
sure.
But on the isolation part, it can be a little bit detrimental on the child's development. As far as being around,
interact,
interact and kind of learn, or like I want him to be around older kids and stuff like that, not to learn the knothead side of things, but just kind of toughen them up and stuff like that. That's what I went through, and I can personally vouch that it helps.
Yeah, especially when you got good people around. I mean, our cousins were just great to be around. We did almost get in trouble that time. We had to hide from the people who were fishing in the property next door.
We didn't realize how serious it was. It was, honest mistake.
No, it wasn't honest. We was ducking and dodging. We knew
Jake hitting the pile of ants. Ant mound. He's over there holding the screens like Looney Tunes.
Like Tom and Jerry. Turning red and everything. Yeah, man. Yeah. But I mean, all that's part of the experience. Now looking back now, I mean, do you feel like you made the right choice as far as the location wise? Because it's Gilmer, but it's not really. It feels more like the in between.
Yeah, it's basically like East Mountain. It is not right exactly in the city, but I mean, for me, yeah. I mean, I it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
As far as raising the family and stuff, it is safe. I don't have any problems with that.
Straight dogs, maybe.
Yeah, and that was you just slap them upside the face a couple times and then they run off. But as far as accessibility, and in case of emergency, that's kind of the more. Like, damn, okay, I would like to be a little bit closer to civilization. Just in case something go wrong. If Zay break his big toe or something like that, we got a 30-minute drive to get to the hospital. So, that's something that's a little bit more nerve-wracking. But like I said, as far as I like him to experience some of the things I experienced, especially like going back to the water and stuff like that. So, having it right there, we ain't gotta plan. Oh, hey, we can try to go this weekend. We can try to make something work. It's like, hey, I get off at 6. I'll be there at 6:30. Be ready. Yeah, be ready, boy. I'm on the way. Yeah.
But you talked about your house hunting. When you were getting approved for your loan, what was that experience like? Because you're 1099 as well, right?
No, I'm W2.
You W2? Okay. Oh yeah.
Some people are.
Yeah, so that was easy for you.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I still had to provide my W2s and stuff like that, and it seemed like everything, background check. I mean,
but you gotta go through a lot.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying. It's like, hey man, I'm in, man. I don't know what you want me.
Yeah.
What you want me to say? I mean, you see how much I make. You see, I've been here for a little bit. Like, let's make it work. I think compared to most people, it was a fairly simple process for me because everything was pretty much right up front. But
did you have a lot of credit at the time?
Not really. Yeah. No. I didn't have much at all.
Because you had all cash cars.
Yeah,
for a while.
I bought the Avalanche. I had that for almost a year.
That's right. That's right.
So I had the Avalanche for a few months, and I mean my score wasn't even that great back then, but still got a decent rate. What's his name? Golly, I go fishing out there by Kings Pond, right by his house all the time.
Who, Tom?
Yeah, Tom Holyfield.
Yeah, Gil.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Gil Mortgage. They made it fairly simple, and then I said Sharika, she helped me out as well too.
Shout out to Sharika Johnson, Johnson Realty.
Yeah, that was before she was Johnson Realty.
Oh yeah. I think she went to a couple places, but yeah.
But I mean it was a fairly simple process when I think about it now compared to how some people experience and
compared to buying a car. Like because you've owned several cars. Compare the process of buying a house, to buying a car. Because a lot of people feel like, I tell people it's different when you buying a car. You go to the lot, there's cars out there.
Right.
Or you find a car for them, hey, maybe it's somewhere else, but you can find it for them or something like that. But, buying a house, you kind of waiting on somebody to either cough one up or build one.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about because you've got experience on both sides. Talk a little bit about that experience buying.
So, I mean, it's the buying part is a buying. I mean, it's an experience. I mean, it's not an easy process most times, and if you're first starting out, It's nerve-wracking. The thing about house buying that's better than car buying is you can get more of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Car buying is a little bit more difficult nowadays, especially with like first-time buyers and stuff like that. If you want to set yourself not up for failure.
Yeah. What do you mean when you say set yourself up for failure? What do you?
So for a first-time buyer, these first-time buyer programs now, they suck. Absolutely suck. Rates are high. They don't want you to finance a lot, which is, it's smart, as far as that part. People have to basically earn their keeps on credit and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, the first-time buyers programs, you buy a $15,000 car, you're paying on it for, 3 years. The balance at the end of the 3 years still going to be around $15,000 because the interest rate is so high.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand that, so I try my best to encourage people to, be a little bit more strategic on their buy, get past the mindset of I want to get what I want, instead of like, hey, like when I'm putting you on something, I'm not doing it to just benefit myself,
right?
Mainly, like I'm trying to get something where
it put you in a stronger position
here in a year or two. It may not be exact. It's not your dream car. Your first car, 9 times out of 10, is not gonna be your dream car.
I think your first like 3 cars, was your. You had the Chevy, the
Cavalier, yeah,
and that was a good car though.
Yeah. I mean, it did its part.
You had Uncle Willie's.
Willie, that was it? God,
I forgot what it was. That purple
2-door,
yeah.
Maroon, inside and out. Old school.
Yeah.
And then, what else did I have?
This is a concussion, y'all. He can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember too much. Sorry about that. It's a little foggy up there. 5 o'clock somewhere. a.m. I got the 5 a.m. fog in there 24/7. But I remember driving the Tahoe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Man, the
Pops,
96.
The black and purple truck Pops.
Yeah. Oh, you drove that?
I drove that for a little bit. When I was down, my car was up here getting fixed by Jan. He had that mother for about seemed like 4 years. But
I drove that too.
That's when I was still delivering cookies.
Oh yeah.
I used to whip that thing around.
Boy, the gas probably killed you.
Dude, did it? God,
you didn't bring anything home.
I still doing it.
Yeah.
I was beast.
Oh yeah. But I really wanted, because I know I don't want to take up all your time. As far as like, I appreciate your deferred gratification.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you probably have bought something better when you first started? As far as car wise, it feels like you have, like you said, like you were talking about the house. If I'm not gonna get everything I want, I'm gonna get something that I want.
Mm-hmm.
You may have not been able to get exactly everything that you wanted, but like how you followed in the car path. Like I said, we listed off of several cars that most people would be like, I don't want to drive this.
Right.
Right. But not only didn't just drive the car, you would put what you wanted inside of something that, you put your speakers in there. I hate it got robbed so many times, but but you put your speakers in there, put your new dash and everything to make it, your own. And it feels like you kind of continue that path in your car buy, because I want to talk a little bit about equity. And I could you educate all our viewers on kind of how you approach buying vehicles? You just traded in your beautiful I'm sorry. You gonna pull the picture up, just look at it. Can I show the people? Just want to show the people how beautiful that car was.
Let me see if I still got it. He's somewhere in here. Library.
And what we're talking about, y'all, is for those that are just listening, Aaron had a beautiful truck. If y'all can't see it, I'm gonna send a picture to me, and I'll.
I know you see it.
I'll send it to. I'm gonna post it on the video as well.
Yeah, man.
That was a banger. Banger.
That was a bad boy.
But man, it helped you in a lot of different ways. Not only did it look good, but the way how did you structure your payments so you gain so much equity? And equity, a simple way that I tell people, equity is your ownership stake.
Right. Now it's more difficult to get equity in a car than it is a house. You have to be really strategic on it, especially if it's going to be an everyday driver.
Because of the mileage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depreciation on a vehicle is 10 times, 100 times greater than it is on a house.
Sure.
So luckily I don't have to drive my personal vehicle all the time. So that was a big factor as well. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I did was make sure that I didn't want to go towards max payment right off the jump. Like if I could afford $350, I didn't want a $350 payment. I wanted $250 or $200, something like that. That way, yes, I can afford a $350 payment. That's what I'm gonna do.
Sure.
But which shout out to Floyd, he taught me this after I bought my first truck. It's like make your payments, and then you're gonna pay extra towards the principal only.
Right.
And same thing with the house. That's multiplying your equity.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that in my first truck. My Avalanche, I actually paid. I was on a 5-year term. I paid it off in 2, and it was 1 on the discipline, 2 on paying ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a million other things that I could have bought with the money that I used to pay off my truck, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to have any more debt besides just the house at the time.
Sure.
So, paid that off, got ahead, and I thought I was gonna keep it forever, and I found another truck that I absolutely loved. So
that the
that was the
Raptor. Yeah, the Raptor. That was a nice truck too.
And so another thing that you can do your research on is understanding and finding out which vehicles have retained the best trade value. So things like Jeep Wranglers, Toyota 4Runners, Ford Raptors, it doesn't have to be a high-end vehicle because really a lot of the high-end vehicles, they depreciate the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Where would you go to find that? It's just a Google search kind of thing?
Yeah, I work in it, so I kind of see.
Right.
But yeah, you can Google search, go to like NADA, Kelly Blue Book, just type in what kind of vehicle that you like, see what it is and brand new, and then see what it is, in a year or two old with 10, 20, 30,000 miles.
Yeah.
And say if you bought it brand new at 42,000, and then when you trade, you see in a year or two you trade it in, it's worth 22,000. It's like, okay, well, that's not really a good vehicle to invest in.
Right.
Because you're gonna factor in everything that depreciates.
Sure.
Damages, miles, usage, wear and tear. There's more factors to devalue it than to retain the value.
Sure.
So, like I say, you try to minimize, the mileage on it and everything like that. Understanding what's strongest on the market on trade value, taking care of it, make sure everything's up to par. If something gets messed up, fix it.
Yeah.
Because that's it. It may be $100, $200 fix, but it could cost you $3,000 or $4,000 on trade value.
That makes a lot of sense.
So just doing everything that you can to kind of keep ahead of the depreciation curve.
And I know that goes in any consumable product or that you may have. Like when you walk into a house, even if the house is older and you walk in and everything is in pristine condition, it's like, okay, it may not have everything I want, but at least it's well taken. Like you can see that it's well taken care of.
Right.
There's more value there,
right.
That could be added. But you use the equity in your truck in a specific way. You were telling me the other day. Would you mind kind of sharing what you decided to do?
So I've done this twice. On my Raptor and on my Chevy and my Ram. I consolidated. No, it wasn't a Chevy. It was the Explorer. So I had a Ford Explorer as well too. I
remember that.
I got for a good price and everything. So I consolidated the boat that I had and the Explorer that I had. Consolidated all into one loan. Still stayed good within the book value, below the book value actually. Got so far ahead in that one, and used that money plus the equity from my Raptor. The Raptor, I had it for a year and a half, almost 2 years. I only put like maybe 10,000 miles on it, and I got what I paid for it. That's just how those trucks are, you know. So, I paid it down. I paid ahead. So I had essentially 20 grand of equity in that.
Wow.
Used that to pay off the boat and everything. Consolidated it to the Explorer, and then I traded both of those in with just the positive equity.
Oh wow.
On the truck on the
Gotcha.
on the
That you
Chevy.
got from right.
Yeah.
Right.
So then same thing with the Chevy. I had some equity, kept my equity in that. You're not gonna stay ahead of the curve if you just pay the minimum.
Gotcha.
So I did what I had to do, what I've been doing. You know, if I get some extra money, I could use it towards some shoes or clothes, whatever else. But I wanted to keep my equity and stuff.
Sure.
So if I had an extra $1,000, I put it towards a principal.
It's almost like a savings
Mm-hmm.
account that you put into your vehicle,
Right?
Or something that is that's not going to depreciate that quickly, but also has some future value,
Right?
Like you said. I mean, I don't have anything against buying shoes. I think if a person look good, they feel good, they perform better, all those different things, the Deion Sanders type, vibe.
Right.
But also too, it's kind of hard to get the same value out of those, those things after you've worn them, put your wrinkles in them, your creases in your shoes and everything.
Right.
So, go ahead if you need to.
No, call it back.
But all those things combined, it seems like you took a great route that I hope other young men will consider, because what you did is not necessarily glamorous. Like it's not a thing where you're gonna get plastered all over Instagram because you took this route. It's actually probably the non-sexiest route that you can take, because you, as you said, you probably passed up on pairs of shoes and different little things that you could have bought.
Right.
But
or for instance, Dodge Chargers. I mean, some of the nicest, most flashy BMWs. I mean, I could have bought any type of other, even when it comes to vehicles, I could have bought the more flashier things than those. And basically wasted that money in that. That's essentially what you're doing.
Sure.
I'm in a different mindset. Like I guess it's part of being in the spotlight for so long. I don't require that anymore. I had that.
You got your feel of it.
Yeah. And I mean, it's cool. It's all temporary. Everybody, the feeling of it is temporary. People praising you is temporary. Now, I mean, can you make a name for yourself and, it kind of outlive you?
Yeah,
you can. But at the same time, it's not going to be at that. You're not going to transcend the peak every time.
Right.
So once you're at that peak, the only thing after the peak is a decline.
Is the down. You got to come down from
so
you can't survive on the peak.
Right. And the peak is a fantasy.
Yeah, it is.
And that's where, and it's not just in sports. I mean, that's where everybody is the sales tactic in life. Now, everything, Instagram lifestyles and all this other stuff. Everybody is like trying to glorify the peak and like hey, you can do this too and blah blah blah. They sucking you into everything.
Right.
But that's all temporary. So
and it's because it is a big illusion.
Yeah.
For one, even if you do get to what they call the peak, you find out after you get past the clouds and you get up there to their peak, you look up and there's more to climb to, and you'll never, really, really be on top.
Right.
You can keep climbing forever. And I can only imagine, even if it was like just in the physical, very basic, I can only imagine trying to climb to the next peak over and over and over and over and over again and never getting there. What people don't understand, y'all, and the reason why, I want to make sure that I highlight, what Aaron has done is because in this regard, talking about, climbing, getting to a peak or trying your best to reach ascertain a certain goal. Most people don't realize that when people climb Mount Everest, most people die on the way down. They don't die on the way up.
Right.
So if you can, instead of just trying to go and get the peak all the time, for one, you cannot survive at the peak. Whatever it is, if you're in business, you just can't survive there. What does allow people to survive is when they get in a flat place, not a flat place, or even just a gradual incline. something steady that you can maintain. If I get to the top, this is a stopping point. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nowhere else to go from there but down.
Right.
So I want to be on a place where I can just continually rise,
Right.
And I think for a lot of us, it's hard for us. I don't think that there are many young single black men. I haven't run into many single black men or seen pictures of young single black men that are buying homes. I can understand if you want to get out. Hey, I'm chasing a dream. That's cool. You've been in one place working in the same job for years and years and years. Why not establish your own kind of kingdom?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that I had been a little more strategic, which I had some things going on. I wasn't in one place, but I look at yours and I'm like, hey, that was a great path. And now it's kind of I can only imagine what the value on your home is now.
Right.
Do you mind sharing how much did you purchase yours at?
160, I think.
160?
Mm-hmm.
You talking about equity? You got some equity.
Yeah,
right?
I probably got almost 200.
Yeah.
Easily with add-ons and stuff like that. So
easily.
Yeah, I could probably sell it for
easily
about $350 or so.
Yeah, easily. Oh man.
Yeah.
But
in today's market.
Yeah. In today's, but I mean, you think about those things, how the long game has helped you. You said earlier that you kind of play things by ear. Mm-hmm. You do, but you don't. Mm-hmm. You have a play at least.
Right.
If you have to wing it, you start with a play. If you're running a fade route and the fade gets swallowed up, the next thing you do is, hey, I got some wheels.
Right. Right.
I can put these on the ground.
Like one of the best plays I had in Longview, we were supposed to be a draw play. And dude came scot-free down the middle.
Oh, really?
It's I think it was Denton Guy. I'm pretty sure it was Denton Guy. But we ran a draw play to Tyler, and I saw the dude coming through there, and I was like, man, I ain't trying to get my partner killed.
Yeah, because he gonna get busted up. Jadavian Clowney style.
Yeah, for real. So I mean, if it's something that you want to play on there, but it was one of them things where it's like, you kind of. Making something out of nothing, and you see got the play design,
sure,
but also noticing like everything. That's one thing I try to make sure I do. I try to observe everything that's going on around me and how it's going to affect me in the long run.
Sure,
not just right then. Yeah, so everything that I do, it may not, even if everything doesn't go exactly as planned, there is a way that you can kind of dictate what's going to happen in the long run.
Sure,
you may not get the now wow, but in the long run, that's why I don't invest in or use money on the flashiest clothes or, trying to keep up with the Joneses on really anything. I kind of create my own path, create my own value on things, kind of have my own flavor. And
you are the Joneses.
Right. In my own way.
Yeah.
I ain't the flashy Jones,
sure.
But, when it comes to the resume, I don't know too many people that's going to top it. Yeah. And it's a quiet taste and stuff like that, but it's everything's done with a purpose.
Sure.
Whether it be running the play exactly as designed or seeing that blitz, that guy coming scot free, and it's like, well, should I just go ahead and hand it off and just keep running the play, or should I adjust and make something out of nothing? And I split the whole
one man audible.
Split the whole defense myself and scored on what was basically a busted play.
Yeah. And
looking at it on camera, you really can't tell. Mm-hmm. But it's just this one of the I guess natural instincts and something that I've always practiced. That comes into play.
What kind of last couple questions? What was your inspiration for buying it? Like if you look back at everything, of course, like I said, everybody can go back and watch the episode with my dad. But was that a big factor for you growing up in what's called a single family home? Mm-hmm. Was that a big family? Was that something that you always wanted, or what?
I never liked apartments and stuff, so
the duplex,
the
last duplex.
Duplex wasn't as bad, that's tolerable.
Yeah,
but the Perry Place that was the place right there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Which one?
The Perry Plaza with the goal in there. You remember, was in there playing 25 for my birthday. You remember, came down there on my birthday.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember where.
That was in Houston. That was in the hood of Houston.
Oh man,
that 2-story place.
Oh yeah.
The basketball.
Oh
now you
man,
talking about opportunity that we missed out on. If we had a camera in there recording all that stuff,
which we should have, because people. I was thinking the other day. Do you remember how you got the name Head? You don't remember this? Man, I wish that I could find this, and I have two play brothers.
You talking about the little head.
Little head. Y'all, we were playing.
Association.
When I tell y'all, in the country, you don't have anything to do. We had to figure and two of my best friends came over.
Yeah.
And we found the camera. I don't know. I think that was Mama's camera.
Yeah.
We had the camera. We had a goal. The goal was on the hill. And we were out there creating a mixtape. We had the NBA sock right in front of
them. That's when one was hot.
Northern Ballers Association.
Oh man, had the intro.
Yeah. We had everything with the dunking.
My dunk was weak to the mud. I was 5 years younger than everybody.
But yeah, that's the first time we came up. We were trying to figure out a nickname for Aaron, and he was like, "Just say Little Head." He's talking about. Little Head.
Bro, that smoked the dunk 3 times. Oh, you hear the mic in the background. Man, come on, bro. What you doing?
But I do appreciate the creativity that you got to have in the country, man. Yeah. You just come up with whatever you can to entertain yourself.
Golly.
But do you feel like, man, going back, do you feel like how we grew up was an inspiration for you wanting to be a homeowner?
Definitely, yeah. Just being in a steady foundation or a sturdy environment, I know that had a big play that a lot of young men, especially young black men, don't get to ever experience.
Sure.
So everything being temporary, everything not being theirs, that's what a lot of people do nowadays.
Sure.
And it's a cultural thing. It's kind of ingrained in our society. And if that's what you're used to, you don't see anything wrong with it.
Sure.
So with the experience that we have, growing up in one house, literally from birth to leaving,
right?
That, yeah. I mean, that's what you appreciate. You want that when you're older as well too.
Sure.
And if you don't, I mean, yeah, everybody chooses their own way, but all in all, you want to have that sturdy foundation.
Sure.
So that's what I believe was one of the forefronts in my head of, like, if I buy this house, then, hey, like I'm kind of playing. It's a little bit veered off, but I'm on the same path.
Sure. And your home ownership experience after purchasing the home, how has it been for you? Have you had to do a lot of repairs at the house?
Not a whole lot. Like I said, the people that built the house, they did a real good job. I mean, it's nothing special. I mean, it ain't like no futuristic,
Sure,
nothing like that. But everything's been pretty solid. I mean, I've had to fix the AC and stuff like that. But get your home warranty. Get your home warranty.
We just had Beth Elbert here this morning. If y'all could go back and see that episode, I think it's like this same season, like episode like number 2 is Beth Elbert talking about home warranties. How did it?
Yeah, get your home warranty.
Did you have it for your AC?
Yeah, it saved me about $8,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
$8,000.
Yeah, I think I paid $250 total, and they replaced the whole unit and everything.
Whoa.
So.
Whoa.
Well, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong.
And then it's good to know people as well too.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out TJ LaFleur. That's my boy.
TJ LaFleur.
All seasons.
Oh, okay. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That family. I've sold that family a few vehicles.
Yeah. TJ, if you want to get on the podcast, man, come talk about it.
He ain't no talker.
No, he ain't no talker.
Great guy, but he ain't no talker, man.
Well, shout out to you anyway, man. Appreciate you taking care of the family. And man, we'll kind of wrap up. But I mean, anything else that when you think about being a homeowner or especially for you, if y'all can't tell, we are black.
Right.
And men. And young men under 35, both of us under 35, and homeowners. Anything else come to your mind that you feel like is important, kind of shaping who you are and who you hope, other young men.
Don't be afraid to go against the grain.
Yeah.
not being accepted by everybody is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
And it will get you a lot farther than trying to be accepted by everybody. Mm-hmm. I've been through phases where I wanted to be accepted by everybody.
Yep.
And I almost tarnished my own character just to try to fit in, you know. And, you know, it seems cool stuff, being a cool guy, all that other stuff, being liked by everybody seems like it's glorious. But it's just like sports. It's very temporary. There's a peak, and when you get to that peak, when you fall off, it's almost gonna be depressing because you're gonna be like, man, you know, like I was just that dude. Like, you know, last year I was that dude, and you know, as soon as I turned 25, or you know, as soon as the new TikTok dance came out and took over, and I can't do the new TikTok dance, I do the old one.
Now you old news.
Yeah, I can nay like a mug, but you know,
they don't do that
I can't
no
do the little Uzi dance. You know, like I don't feel comfortable doing the Uzi dance. Like
you
I
old
go out
news.
there, I go out there still jig on them, but. Hey, you know, I done lost that, you know.
Yeah. And man, it's so apparent too. I was telling you the other day, some of the young guys we play against. I remember when I was in college playing ball, and some of the older guys I played, I was like, yeah, I'm better than you now.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But I don't know that I was always necessarily just better than I just probably had more energy. Them young guys now, man, I be out there, they be like, bro, I'm like, man, when are y'all gonna get tired? Like we on game number 5. I'm thinking at some point, that's how we used to be.
Man, yeah.
It was a young. Now I can still get out there and I can still make a big impact, but it's just not the same. You know, you realize you're not a young man forever.
You're a big guy now.
Yeah,
big impact.
Big.
Big guy mean big impact. I'm the same way. Yeah. And what drives me crazy too, these cats nowadays. Even when I go out there and play flag. They be like, oh, I got big dude. They put a big dude on.
Yeah, he was like, oh man, you don't even know. I had one guy tell me his first time coming to the gym in the morning, and I was cooking. First thing in the morning, he was in there talking a lot. Man, y'all letting this big blank dude such. And it felt good that I didn't even have to say nothing. Because they looked at it and they said, do you know who he is? I was like, it's okay. I mean, I can tell, you know, I do realize like I'm out of shape, you know, out of basketball shape. But, you know, it's just funny because he was looking at me like, man, y'all letting this big dude do all this and go through here? Like, ain't nobody going to try to stop him. I was like, yeah, you come over here too. Whatever you want to do.
You try what you want to, man. That's how it is out there with flag football, man. Them young cats, some of them young ones that don't know who I am, I love it actually.
Yeah, it is. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, they get out there, they make a play, and they talking, oh yeah. Or they, you know, they may I get a bad throw thrown to me, something like that. They make a play. Oh yeah, I got him locked down. He ain't doing nothing.
They be talking like that?
It's like, okay. I really ain't trying now. Right. Let me go ahead and try. I put about 3 good plays on where I actually just try. And I score on all 3 of them. And I just sit there and look. I ain't no talker.
Exactly.
But, you know, I'm gonna look at them. And then the next time we out there, hey, y'all better watch out for this dude right there, bro. Add him to the list, bro. Add him to the list, yeah.
Because y'all walked away with several trophies in the flag football.
Oh, yeah. A few rings, stuff like that in Dallas and stuff like that. I mean, it's dudes up there in Dallas that knew who I was, and I was like, bro, I don't even remember playing against y'all, bro. Yeah. But, hey, watch.
That's a great compliment, though, you know, and shout out to all the, you know, the competitive people out here to show respect, you know, also, too. We played against a lot of great talent. You know, it's a guy in the NBA Finals right now that I played against in college. Well, I didn't play, fortunately, because he was cooking everybody, and I didn't get a chance to experience that. Praise God, I didn't have to get in and experience that. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, man, he's playing in the finals now. He went to TJC when I was at Angelina. A lot of great competition, man, and you know, I'm grateful for it all. I'm grateful, you know, for one to see your, you know, the steps that you've taken. You calculated. Even though you can also wing it,
right?
You know, I appreciate your, you know, the steps that you've taken, and how you put yourself in a great position to, you know, not only. I mean, I tell everybody, for one, y'all, if you're thinking about buying a car, go see my brother. And I'm not saying this in the sense of like, hey, my brother's literally sold me and my sister every car that we had, because at the end, I always thought that the stigma for a car salesman is always talkative person. He gonna talk you into everything, be relentless in his pressure and things like that. Aaron is none of those things. He's out there listening to what you want, what you need, what's gonna be. He said it earlier. What's gonna be beneficial for you, not just hey, I'm sending you this just so I can make a bunch of money off of you and make you look good. But no, it'd be good for you and your future and your goals. So I tip my hat, and I would encourage anybody, if you're looking to buy a car, start with Aaron Johnson. They call him AJ up there, Peter. Shout out to Peters for these many years of giving you this opportunity. But great at helping you achieve your goals, and I appreciate that. I just paid off my truck the other day, a truck that I wasn't even looking for. You called me up again, man. I really appreciate the way you take care of your business, not just your business, but the way you take care of your business, man. Right. And I think it's phenomenal how much you've done over there at Peters. And again, shout out to Peters, Keith, my classmate, and all the Peters family over there, man. So yeah, they moved up the ranks over there. Anything else anybody want to shout out or anything like that?
Man, just
shout out to the pops,
friends, family, everybody that I keep in close touch with. It ain't a lot, but I appreciate everybody that's in my life nowadays. Circle gets smaller and smaller as life goes, so the people that are in it, you appreciate them the more and more as time goes.
Sure. Man, and for everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Shout out, I want to give a shout out to my dad, my mom, for giving a great example. For those of you that don't have, may not have been blessed with that same thing, I would love to kind of, as far as the example, as far as being homeowners, taking care of what they have. My dad works on the house, it seems like all the time, but they've taken care of their home over all these years, added on, delayed some gratification to where they are, homeowners free and clear. I can only imagine what it's like to not have a mortgage to pay every month. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get to that place. But if you are single, married, black, white, it really doesn't matter. When it comes to home ownership, I'm a huge believer and advocate for home ownership. If you just want to explore what that would be like for you, please feel free to give me a call. You can message me here. You can give me a call, 903-806-6905. If you're looking for a car, what's a good number to call you on?
903-619-1850. That's my work number. I don't keep it on me when I'm off of work, but if in store hours and I'm still at work on weekends, and I'll if I don't get in contact with you right then, I'll get in contact with you ASAP. So.
That'll work. Hey, y'all, thank you so much. I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe. If you listen on Spotify, subscribe. Add me to your playlist. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe and the bell notification button so that you can get
the video
alerts. Like the video, please. It'd be great if you could leave a comment under there if there's something that you need help with, or the question that you would like answered. If you think I should have Lil Head back on the pod, please put something in the comment section there. Say yes, have him back on. Maybe it's something we can do a little more regularly. Our industry's kind of intertwined, so maybe we'll be able to bring some great content and information. But for everybody that's watching, everybody that's supporting, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank y'all, and be blessed.